Welcome to Sideline to Baseline with your hosts, MB and K Lou. We back, y'all. We got Double A in the building. And
Blue.
Jay Breezy, Run CMC, J Game J Game Cop.
Spur your
Jay
Gamecock.
Tiger. I was just disrespectful. He probably gonna curse me out later. But yeah, that was very disrespectful. I want to apologize to you for that crude, rude remark. Sorry, Jason. But hey man,
Hey, Jason, you see when you down, man, they piling on, huh?
Do what?
You see that? When you down, they piling on, man. You know?
I know, man.
Can you hear me?
It's all right. We'll get our time. I mean, we can't pile on Duke because
we don't play y'all this year. We
Huh?
need y'all. We need Miami and Clemson on the schedule twice, baby.
Yeah.
So we
you
need
do.
y'all.
Yeah,
We listen
can't
to
wait.
the win.
Hey, we can't wait. We need, because we gonna beat NC State. That's gonna be the funny part. And then I'm gonna say, well, we just beat Clemson.
Football math.
Exactly. So starting right there, MB, you watched the game. I saw a little bit of it. Double A saw the game. Miami goes down to UVA 30-28. Man, Double A, I'm gonna start with you, man. What were your thoughts about the game, and then moving forward, where do you think this puts Miami for this year? And then we'll talk about after this year next.
So there were a lot of takeaways from that game, and it was like there was a couple games inside a game in one game for a Thursday night football. I'll give props. Virginia's got a real quarterback, and that guy going to give anybody a hard time. Miami's got young talent, but they're all over the place as far as being schizophrenic. And these guys are playing, they're playing too much going on up here, not reacting anymore from what I saw. I think Miami's got a quarterback I haven't seen in a long time, just half of the second half for a kid's first real game. I don't consider what he did last week. That was a scrimmage. But you got a real problem. You've got some serious, from my perspective, coaching deficiencies. I wouldn't blame this on 18-year-old kids, 19-year-old kids. I just saw some things where these kids almost won a game they had no business winning. For the football gods, the crossbar took it away. But you're a good team when you win games you shouldn't win. When you lose games that you could have won, you're not a good team, and that's reality for us right now. I'll leave it to Mike to talk. I mean, this is his this is his history.
No, we needed Vic on tonight, boy. What Vic is saying is crazy. The more I think about it, the more I realize that it really was a microcosm of Diaz's time at the U. Small, brief moments of brilliance surrounded by total incompetence.
Yeah.
Looking back, he should have been removed the night of the FIU loss. He can't string three great performances together without at least one game where they completely crapped the bed, and you wonder who the heck was that. When a team is as consistently unprepared, unmotivated, uninspired, out-hustled, and out-prepared as what Diaz has. MB, I'm sad to say, but it's crazy that he put a word in there that I actually mentioned to you before the show, and that's
What's that?
Uninspired.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Did I not just was talking about that?
Yeah, you were.
So it's crazy. So I wasn't the only one. And MB will tell you guys, I don't pull no punches, whether we talk about Duke or whoever. I say
Unless we're talking about the Lakers.
Oh, I tell you, we were bad too. I tell you when we bad. I tell you when we bad too. But that's a championship team this year. We digress. So MB, I mean, looking at what happened last night, obviously you're closest to the program. You were a Ashley guy, feels like 20 years ago now. And now I'll never see you talk about his name. You were afraid some other team was going to pick him up. Now he's trying to save his job. What do you think the issue is at Miami? And then moving forward, where do they go from here?
Yeah, I mean, it's from the top down. I mean, it's just you look at the guys, and it's just fundamental football. I mentioned this last year. It's hard to beat anybody when you beating yourself, and beating yourself on defense. Too many missed tackles, not proper run fits, guys, left to be open. Uncovered. I mean, it's like we have yet to play, other than last week, 60 minutes of complete football. Defense, the first quarter, offense was 3 and out, which is expected with the young quarterback. But defense, they couldn't stop anybody. They couldn't play dead in cowboy moves. Then they got their step going, and then it's just totally inconsistent, man. Inconsistency from the top down, man. It's just not good. I mean, had a chance, and despite all that, still had a chance to win the game. And then, you put the situation, if kid ended up missing a field goal, but no shots to the end zone, nothing. It was just conservative from the beginning. It's just got to constantly be aggressive, So I don't know. It's just not good.
Jason, I think you and I are in the same position. It's kind of hard for us to feel sorry for these Miami guys, especially being in Florida, still getting some of the top talent in Florida, not in droves and bulk how they did in the past. But you had a Clemson team that once upon a time looked like this, looked like they had talent in different spots. It seemed as though they were right there to turn the corner, but couldn't. Looking at Miami right now and thinking about when Clemson was like that, maybe 12 years or so ago, how does Miami get back to where now Clemson is?
So I think that's an excellent place to approach it from, like you just mentioned. If you remember, that was back when we were stomping around up here in South Carolina, and Kevin was the local Clemson hater, or everything hater. He just hated everything.
Still is. He still is.
Couldn't stop hearing about how, back in Florida, oh my God. But correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed that Clemson back then, and like Miami now, kind of like what you said, they got the talent in spots. And it seems to me that seems to be outside looking in, but I don't think that Miami is going to pull a 5-star receiver that someone else wants. It seems to me, just from what I'm seeing, that they'll get that 5-star talent that is a little bit like, good player, question marks elsewhere. And so some other programs are like not pursuing as much.
Wow.
And you definitely don't have what we didn't have was the offensive lineman, the defensive lineman. Not to say Miami doesn't have good players, but you know what I mean. I'm talking first-round picks.
Right. Not what we're used to from back in the day, 20 years ago.
That is what Clemson needed to get and did get to turn that page.
Yep.
The exciting Sammy Watkins and the exciting, DeAndre Hopkins. They brought,
and then even those couple DNs that y'all got even before they were there.
Big B, yes,
yeah.
And the gentleman that went to Chicago and Gaines Adams, he got the heart attack.
Right.
It seems like Miami is a tourist destination and not a football program. I mean, I outside looking in, I could be wrong, but from a recruiting standpoint, I mean, where are they on signing day with the top 5 defensive tackles in the country, or the offensive linemen, or even
Jason,
a high-profile quarterback?
They're coming out of there too, Jason, to add insult to injury. They're leaving there and coming to Clemson and going to Alabama.
Lamar Jackson, Teddy
Bridgewater. Virginia had 12 Florida players on their team.
Yep.
How did Louisville get Teddy Bridgewater and Lamar Jackson when they are in the most forgettable state, or one of the most forgettable states in America? Awful place. No offense, but full offense. It's just not awesome. In comparison to Miami and staying home,
right.
Is that on?
Is that on what?
Did Miami recruit them? An offer?
Miami didn't aggressively recruit Teddy Bridgewater. So I was there when he was there. So one thing you got to talk about is, and this was Jimmy was good at, this was Butch was good at, is number one, identifying talent, right? Once you get the talent, right, develop the talent, and then make sure the talent comes ready to play, whether you practice or game. And so from a lot of standpoints, Miami's, like you said, they're getting the talent, but right now the development on the field is not to championship standard at all. So to me, it's not a part of getting talent. They obviously missed out on a lot of talent. As far as when you bring up Lamar Jackson and whatnot, the fact that he left the state is crazy that he got out of there. But the issue is you got to identify the talent. You can't let rivals or scout recruit for you. You can't let them say who's a 5-star, who's a 4-star, who can help your team. You got to trust your own judgment. You got to trust your own eyes, because even when you talk about Miami, we didn't have head in the top 10 recruiting class. But what you knew Jimmy Johnson, those guys knew how to identify talent and they knew how to develop it. And then that's when you get a guy like Russell Maryland from Chicago that maybe had another offer from William & Mary. Then now he come to now Miami, he's developing. Now he's number one pick in the draft. That's the thing that you kept seeing a lot of. And that's what we got to get back to.
Well, I think too, though, when you put all this together, MB, you guys have strung together an entire generation of kids that didn't grow up wanting to go there, which somehow you ruined. Now those same kids grew up on Clemson, Alabama, not even USC, but who else in the Big Ten? Ohio State. So those are the three that this generation of kids that actually are at Miami, they grew up wanting to go to other schools. And so now you actually have to start from scratch, because those names and what you're talking about, and Double A mentioned when you were having a little trouble getting on, that's gone. The standard no longer exists, and that's why you don't have these kids growing up wanting to be a part. Double A said it. They ain't even about words. Although
I heard Double A said it, but I don't agree with it. I think you still got a chance as far as the home team, just because of the love that people have for Miami, especially in the South Florida
area. They don't have it though. It's gone. You've had 20 years. So you've had an entire generation of kids to grow up loving Clemson, loving Ohio State, but still loving Notre Dame. That's where we are.
But we still, even though Miami consistently, based on paper, didn't have enough top 10 recruiting class,
let's be fair though. Miami may have those top 10 recruiting class, but it's probably more so because Clemson, Alabama have taken, Georgia have taken such a bulk of that top talent that they got to list everybody else somewhere. You know what I mean? It's not like Jason, there probably needs to be a real recruiting chart that really says, okay, we just got 20 out of the top 100. You know what I'm saying?
You say what?
And then that's Alabama. And then Clemson say, well, we just got, another 20 of those. Okay, so who cares where everybody else fits?
So you're talking about the
standard.
You're talking about the standard, K-Lou. We didn't judge it by what our recruiting class was.
Right, we never judged it by that.
We judged it by who went to the next league.
I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying either. I never said that.
So there were a lot of guys in the last 20 years. Not that the team had any success, but there were a lot of guys that thrived in the NFL that dwindled around and barely made it.
What I'm saying is, Double A, what I'm saying is that there were a group of guys that every year wanted to come to Miami because it was the U. Period. They didn't care about any
no doubt
stuff. And I'm saying you lost that edge. Clemson now has it. Alabama now has it.
No doubt.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, but I'm saying I agree with that part of it, but we still got enough talent to win. It's developing what you have South Florida is a major recruiting ground. So we still getting some 5 stars. We got enough talent down there to win, but you got to identify the talent and develop the talent and make sure the talent comes.
But win against who?
Jason, help me out. Yeah.
But win against who?
You got to develop. Who?
But win against who? I mean, look at that game against Alabama. I mean, that, you know what I mean? I mean, trust me. Do you remember the opening game of the 2012 season? I believe it was Clemson, Alabama, in Atlanta. We lost by 30 points, I believe.
They exposed you.
Right. What happened the next time?
We got exposed as well. There's no doubt.
Yeah. So I think, you know, how you go from here, just like Clemson did. That, you know, I think your current head coach, in my opinion, you don't hear enough of him. You don't hear enough about him. You don't seem to. I don't know. I don't think he rises to the level of the U. You know what I mean? I mean, it just doesn't seem to be the guy. You know, he's not going to go sit. A recruit is not going to be starstruck by him.
There it is. That's what it'll be. Just yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
I think that's what you need. I think you go get somebody that's going to have a teenager stuttering because their dad is nervous over who's in the living room. You know, that's when you get those
Jason.
kids.
And they have about 20, 30 dudes that fit that bill. That's how crazy that is.
And you'll have people knocking down doors because they would love to be the coach at the U, you know? So I think kind of like Clemson's, you know, the best is the standard. Man, your next head coaching search should be
start right here standard. With MB. He one of the dudes.
Hey, but listen. Let's go back because y'all brought up a statement, right? It's 2021, right? And you're saying that these kids didn't grow up on mommy. That's time we won the championship, right? So you're talking about 20 years ago, right? So I'm saying the parents.
We losing you bad.
Yeah.
The internet football guys are cutting them off.
Can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So one recent example, the closest Miami came to national relevancy recently was when they made it to the ACC title game, and Clemson kind of, you know how that went.
Rick's first year.
There were signs that the turnover chain, for example, you know,
right.
they were never ever at any point in that year going to compete for a national championship. Nobody thought they would, but they were relevant. And look at how a simple turnover chain of just the barest minimum of relevancy exploded. Now everybody does it.
Right.
Add some success to that.
Change college football.
Add some success to
that feeling of beating Notre Dame in Hard Rock, that gave everybody a taste of what the old days in the OB was. You came to the OB on a big game. You were playing the real original 12th man. That old metal stadium shook. You know,
I think Miami could suck for 5 more years and then get a little bit better, and it'll all be back like that. So I think the head coach will fix your recruiting. That's just where it goes.
I'm saying, like,
who's the head coach, though, Jason?
You got a major. You in South Florida. You got, when you talk about those teams who win the championship, a lot of them, their star players are from South Florida, from Florida. You always got a chance when you got a major recruiting ground.
We agree with that, MB.
So that's the thing.
But every kid out there knows if they can go somewhere else, they probably should.
Talking about, well, they growing up on Clemson and Alabama, rightfully so. But what I'm saying, you got a chance. You in Miami with a major recruiting ground, you got a chance. You got a chance. You got to get the right. You got to develop.
Jason, I wanted you to
get ready to go. It's too much.
You got a chance in the casino. That don't mean you're gonna win.
But I'm just saying though. So your point is what? What point are you trying to
Jason,
make?
please talk more specifically to
what
recruiting.
Point you guys trying to make?
Jason looks at recruiting a lot, MB, and talk to us about really why you made that statement about what kind of 5-star they're getting And then how many compared to what Clemson, Georgia, Alabama are getting?
And just outside looking in again, it seems like Miami does get talented players kind of by default, as MB was mentioning, but are they getting the Jalen Waddles? Are they getting the kids that are astute at their craft in college? You know, not just a natural athlete who's gifted and can play. I'm talking a focused kid that knows where he's going in 2-3 years, and he's going to have the coaching to support him and get him there and keep him out of trouble. And when's the last time we have spoken about a highly regarded first-round draft pick out of Miami? When? A good kid that stayed out of trouble and is just excellent at his job, and he's getting drafted in the first round, and nobody's worried about the pick. Nobody's like, gosh, he's a first-round talent.
Hey,
God,
Jason,
who's going to roll the dice?
Two transfer DNs.
One of them never played.
I think to get those kids, because the ones coming out of high school and they know they're a pro already.
But hold on, Caleb, don't do that, because Jalen Phillips, right? He was considered a bust, right? He came to Miami, right? He was considered a bust at UCLA. He came to Miami and turned his career around. So don't do that. That's not true.
We're not saying that Miami's bad. What we're
saying he ain't really from Miami. That's what we're saying.
Developed at Miami.
That you didn't develop him.
You said what?
We're saying that he was already who he was before he got there.
No, he wasn't.
They from that school.
He thought about quitting football. Jalen Phillips, not Quincy Richard. Jalen Phillips. So the development is in certain spots, right? But he came and developed because he was a bust. He was considered a bust. Number one player in the nation, a bust. He thought about quitting football. So,
but what about those players?
I understand what you're saying, Jason. It's just inconsistency, right?
Right. Huh? Yeah, like those players that when they come out of high school, they're by default, they are an NFL first-round pick in the waiting room of college. Like those players that where they're going, they just got to sit out their couple years in college, and then it happens. You know what I mean? Like, and then it happens.
So Miami never got those recruits. Let's be honest. When Butch came in, that team was a mess. He took 2-star, 3-star local Carroll City guys. Nobody knew who Santana Moss was. He was a throwaway for these big schools.
Santana came to Miami on a track scholarship.
Exactly.
Right. So this is what I'm trying to say. What you're talking about, Jason, this is what I'm saying. Miami never was built on, winning the recruiting titles with 4- and 5-star players. What we did a great job of, like I said in the beginning, was identifying the talent regardless of their rate. We didn't let scout or rivals dictate who we're recruiting, right? And then on top of that, we develop them, and that's what you're saying. What I hear you loud and clear. The development of that is not understanding.
But MB keep talking about Snellenberger days.
Those guys that are ready to go. Like the Jonathan Vilma, who wasn't a big-time recruit, but come in there and develop and end up being first round. That's what's missing. That development.
It was big-time recruits all around them, though.
That won't work today.
Wait. You can't do that to us. Like, at some point, when y'all started winning championships under Snellenberger, under Jimmy Johnson, that's when you start being able to get these recruits.
No.
4 or 5 stars.
No,
never.
No, we never got those. We didn't care about 4 or 5 stars.
I'm not saying you cared about them, but them running backs that was coming through there wasn't bums.
But they wasn't a lot of them wasn't no 4 or 5
So where were they, MB? They weren't recruited by nobody else. Saying
I'm not
you know
saying that.
You talking about Edgerrin James came to Miami because he ain't have nowhere else to go.
I'm not saying that.
Like, that's crazy.
You're talking about
I don't know what y'all talking about.
4 or 5 stars.
Now y'all doing it
Miami. It don't matter.
They made a living off of nobody's.
Can you play ball?
I ain't gonna let that happen.
Gore was the big time.
Like, does that not sound like that to you, Jason?
Gore was the number 1 recruit coming out of high school.
I see both sides, but I think you're both right. I think the missing piece to connect it, though, MB, kind of what you said. Okay, we never did this, we did that, but you're acknowledging that you're not doing the development and the blah blah blah. But what I'm saying is, I don't think you can get away with that anymore. I think college recruiting is a little bit more of a level playing field than it ever used to be. And I think you're just not going to be able to win in today's game without that second part. I think, especially with the internet and social media, back in the day, the U carried more. And so you didn't have to develop as much because other.
No, the real competition back in the day to you wasn't on Saturdays.
Yeah,
It was
Jason. We can't hear you.
it was
Is that just me?
No, his audio.
No, we all don't hear.
The real competition, and Mike, you'll tell this. If someone ever put up the video of all the spring games over all the years, that's where the competition took place. It was fighting for number ones just to get on the field.
It's so funny. But all of them was nobodies, though. Not they couldn't go nowhere else, so they had to fight amongst each other.
No. Hey, Lou, you going to the left, bro.
I mean, let y'all tell it. They couldn't go nowhere else.
But you're saying that we gotta have
if they lost their job at my
star players,
he couldn't have went to Florida. He couldn't have went to Florida State. If he would have lost his job at Miami, he'll be serving burgers at McDonald's right now.
What are you talking about? What point are you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all sounding crazy. Like you were a big time recruit, and you telling me y'all ain't have them. Like that's
no, hey K. Lou, you going to the left? You going to one absolute? I'm saying y'all sit here saying we got to get a boatload of 4 or 5 star recruit.
Y'all had that though. I'm not gonna let you get away with saying y'all never had it. You did.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that wasn't the premise of Miami. It's not about 4 or 5 stars recruit. It's about can they play ball?
That's the only way you win, though. Sorry, we ain't in them days no more.
It's not. See,
name a team that's not that's winning. That's not doing it that way.
Hold on. This is what I'm trying to say.
Name a team that's winning and not doing it that way.
Hey, Lou, that's the problem right there. Is that when you say, well, that's because you can't let scout or rival dictate if the guy 4 or 5 star recruit. You have to determine for yourself.
We win because we got the best players. That's the only reason.
You got to determine for yourself, can that guy play ball? You got to stamp him yourself because you know for yourself, you've seen a lot of dudes that got the hype in the NFL or whatnot. And you're like, man, this dude, can he hold my touch? He ain't better than the dude at Florida. So that's what I'm trying to say. All I'm saying, you can't let other people evaluate for you. What Jimmy and them did was they did a great job of evaluating the talent for themselves. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying we had some 4 or 5 stars. We had some that couldn't play dead in the Cowboy movies. We had some 1 and 2 stars that can. We had some 5 stars that came ready to play. But you can't let other people dictate you who's a 4 or 5 star recruit. You just can't. You got to do it yourself. And then once you identify the talent, you got to develop the talent. And that's all I'm saying. So yeah, we did have. So I didn't go. That's what I'm saying. Don't go left. No, we got some 4 or 5 star recruits. We had some that could play, and we got some that couldn't play. But that wasn't the foundation of our team. We did a better job of identifying the talent. And
it was after you left,
and that's what I'm saying. We got to do a good job.
MB, that younger bunch was all studs. Sorry to bust your bubble.
Who?
Shockey them. That whole list of dudes.
Shockey transferred in from JUCO.
Exactly, it was a stud. Why? So ain't no stud JUCO guys no more.
But I'm
Cortez was a transfer.
That was the first transfer portal. Was JUCO. Now it don't count.
Yeah.
Hey, Lou. Hey,
that's hilarious.
I'm speaking for facts, right?
Now Miami made it. Miami won all them chips with nobody.
I'm speaking for facts. During those heydays, Miami never had. They probably count on one finger. Probably
I'm saying
had one
after you, y'all started it, and then heck, you were a result of the winning. You were a result of it.
K. Lou,
they could land you because of the winning.
K. Lou, K. Lou. Here's the point that we're trying to make. We'll make sure we compare apple to apple. You look at the heyday, right? I can count probably maybe 1 class or 2. Right, initially was a top 10 recruiting class. I'm talking about that was the premise. It was maybe 1 or 2 from that time period that was a top 10 recruit class.
No,
but what we did a great job was
saying heyday
and developing the talent.
Was 80s,
and those guys became
was
first
80s to win.
Players.
80 what to what? You saying
81
heyday?
to 2001. 81 to 2001.
No way.
Do the research.
No way.
Do the research. Do the research.
Jason, this is where I need your help because you an expert.
Do the research.
Kelly started 79.
LB.
Did you just say I was an expert in like a mediocre program? Is that how you just kind of backdoored that around to say like because Clemson used to be on the doorstep? So I'm an expert.
But what I'm saying is, Jason, is like during that time you were concerned about recruiting. The problem is MB trying to sell Miami like they ain't get nobody. And that's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because listen, I'm not a
No, I'm not. Hey, Lou, no, I'm not selling that.
I need Pat Jam on.
Hey, all I'm jumping on. All I'm jumping on. You said that Mike's got to get a bunch of 4 or 5-star recruits, and I'm saying I was part of the staff that we was doing that, and that gets you fired because you land scout and rivals. You gotta, man. Can this guy play ball? That's got to be the litmus test, regardless if you're a 1-star recruit or 5-star recruit. Can he play ball? That's all I'm saying.
I'll wait till Kevin gets back to say this next point. I don't know what was he going to go. He's gonna go get like a sports almanac. Like I don't know what
he's getting room service.
I'm saying anybody that know Miami history know that, man. It just you got those guys. Ray Lewis, you got guys signed in the last minute who was like ballers. You know, you got those guys, and you got some 4 or 5-star, but you can't say, man, we just got to get a bunch of 4 or 5-star recruits. They got to be able to play ball. You know, I don't care about what star they are. If they can play ball, that's cool.
What kind of room service did he order?
Is that what he did?
Are you one of the current coaching staff, or who would, if you could choose the next head coach, who would it be?
Butch Davis.
I like that.
Because right, you look at Butch, right? Look at what he did. Butch has an eye for talent. Mm-hmm. He knows how to develop the talent, right? You look at what he did. So he'll go get the guys that fit his scheme.
What Nick Saban is now is what Butch would have been if he never left.
He'll go get those guys and develop them.
Am I right in saying that, Mike? If Butch never left, he would be
Butch.
Nick.
I mean, Butch.
If Butch never left, he'd be Nick Saban right now.
Butch.
I would suggest.
I mean, that's what you need. You need a guy.
I'm gonna throw out a name that I hope you don't get. That has been on the back of my mind the whole time we've been sitting here, and I mean this. I hope you don't get it. I would actually go the opposite of everything I've been saying for 20 minutes about going and getting like a starstruck coach. Go get a Joe Brady. Go get a bright, offensive-minded coach that is going to bring excitement back to the program and let the excitement have the effect on recruiting. Because who was the coach? Is it Charlie Strong? Who was there before he went to Texas? I mean, you guys play hard. You know, defensive coaches, you'll get excitement. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? These are kids. Scoreboard is excitement. Production is excitement. And only if you cannot go get a name that is going to result in that starstruck, feeling in a recruit's living room, I say you go get a well-picked, not just anybody, but a bright, offensive-minded young coach that's going to lead to the QB you need, which is going to lead to the receivers you need, which is going to lead to the excitement to get the defensive tackles and the offensive linemen you need. Because then you're going to get an offensive lineman, okay, who's going to look at, he'll probably start at Alabama, or he'll definitely start in Miami, and look who he'll be blocking for. So I was just telling him, Kevin, if he can't go get one of those starstruck coaches we were discussing that would help recruiting, go get a bright offensive-minded coach like a Joe Brady.
That's what this guy Lashley was supposed to be, the young offensive guru.
I can't believe LB need to be saying that he was on that train. I ain't know that dude's name. He was talking Lashley. He in last place.
What kind of job you think he's going to get after this?
He coming in last.
Enterprise rental car. But the point I wanted to make when you walked away, Kevin, to MB's point where he kept saying you can't trust 5-star, 4-star and rivals. At the end of the day, you got to line up and play ball. They did opening week, Alabama, Miami, and that the 4-star that I mean, I'm not disagreeing, but at the end of the day, some of those stars are there for a reason. I mean, they just are.
Rivals was right, wasn't they, Jason?
But I think the U can come back and exceed Alabama because nobody wants to be in Tuscaloosa, and that includes Nick Saban. So so you're right there. You are the most positioned. Even Nick Saban left LSU to go to Miami. He just went to the wrong team. So it just
True.
You just need the right name. You get the right name at the front, the rest will fall in place.
That's what, Jason. I've been yelling at MB by how long? MB at least a year, 2 years.
About what?
But they need one of y'all.
You got Ed Reed standing on that sideline.
I don't think he can do it.
I watched that game last night. I never saw Manny and Lashley ever in the same shot together, never talking to each other. I never understood how offense coordinator and defense coordinator and head coach, because Manny's the coordinator, how they're not interacting with each other. Never saw it once.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think, for me, it's easy. Get one of these guys that carry with them the standard that MB talks about, because everybody they keep bringing in don't have a clue about it.
Where? So Jason don't drop the mic. He don't say what he said and dipped out.
No, I think he's had trouble the whole show as well.
Yeah.
See, he back in.
Yeah.
Every time I get a call, man.
Okay. So Jason. So here's the thing, right? You talked about 4 or 5 star recruit at Alabama, right? But that's what Alabama does, though. Not only, right, they have 4 or 5 star recruit, they get a good job recruiting, identifying talent. But one thing they do also, they develop the talent as well. They have a culture where they're developing that talent. Because Alabama is not a lot of freshmen just coming in gonna play right away, right? You're gonna not a lot of them. You look at them, especially on that defense. Defense is a little more complicated, whatnot. So you just ain't gonna jump right in there. So guys are being developed. They're identifying them and they're being developed, right? And then if dude can't play, they get right up out of there.
Right.
So but the starting point.
So they get the pick, rightfully so, right? Because they're the best. Right now they got the best program, right? Last, 5, 10 years, however you want to measure it, since Nick Saban been there and got this thing going. So they develop a coach. So they're identifying the talent. They're developing the talent, right? And I'm telling you, so they do it. And then if dude can't play, they transfer and they leave it up out of there.
But they're starting from a further point ahead. I mean, they're trying to develop a 4 and 5 stars to make sure they deserve that star. But if they have to get up out of there, like you said, there's another one right behind them.
Right behind.
They're 4 deep.
No, I think Jason
they're cooking with better ingredients.
No doubt.
Well,
I agree with that.
Jason,
remember what y'all keep missing though.
I think remember I said you can't win without it, and you're saying that's how y'all won. Jason was saying, well, y'all lined up against a team that you're saying, you don't need them. You don't need, and then guess what? You got routed.
No.
So our point is,
listen.
The days are gone that you're talking about, and you think they're still there. That's cool and all, but all the teams that's the Final Four teams look like routes.
Say that part again, Caleb.
I said all the teams that make the Final Four look like rivals in scout. That top 50, top 100, top 300. That's who playing on those teams. Those same kids.
I agree that the star ratings, there's some conspicuousy there, but they get it mostly right. They really do.
I mean, the championship.
Here's the part.
It out. All the majority of them kids that's playing in Alabama made rivals. Regardless of what you want to say, they all made rivals and all these scouting things. And guess what? The teams they play against, Ohio State for the national championship, they look just like them. Them the other kids that didn't go there.
Yeah, but when they're on the field, they don't look like they're running with like a chicken without a head on. They know where they're going.
I don't care. Our
they're
point
coached
is
up.
They're there. It's those kids. That's our point. Like what you
But
decide to
listen,
do with them and how
hey,
you
hey, K.
don't develop them or develop them is on you.
K. Lou, and this and here, hold on. So y'all keep missing a point that I keep making. Y'all keep saying, well, y'all need to go get 4 or 5 talent, right? My point from the beginning that's not. I said I don't care if a kid 4 or 5 style. I just want to know, can he play? That's just a point blank. And then can he play? But then the other thing,
They can.
but some of them can't. But some of them can't.
But more can than can't.
But what
Hey,
those
give me them 4 or
programs
5
doing?
stars,
Hey,
man. I'm
what
sorry.
Alabama, Georgia, or Ohio State are doing, and Clemson are doing, they're developing that talent. They're developing that talent.
You know why this will never end? It's because you're not wrong. You're not wrong, MB. You're not. But you're just not. We do get the point, but you're just missing that cooking with better ingredients will always work. You can be a 5-star chef, no pun intended, but if you're cooking out of canned food and then you got an amateur cooking with fresh ingredients,
I'm still going that 5-star, baby. They gonna make it taste good.
I don't care if you bought
it didn't matter what star you were, if you were from Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach County. If you could play ball, you balled on that team. Phil DeMontmont, right here. Ed Reed was a 2-star. Hall of Famer, best ever.
But where's he at? Is he coming through the door today?
But I'm just saying, though, I understand what you're saying. Is you get talent, but if you don't develop
a legacy, that's why he came. He could have stayed in Louisiana.
But we
get Ed Reed.
We got a whole pipeline. We got a whole pipeline of dudes, right? That wasn't a big time recruit. That was ballers.
But you're not going to Cinderella story your way back.
Develop them. It's not Cinderella story. Nothing changed. You can get top recruits, and if you don't develop them, it means nothing.
Okay.
You could have all the ingredients in the world. You got to have a good chef. We don't have a chef. We haven't had one in a long time.
The most well-developed team of 2 and 3 stars could beat just an averagely developed team of all 5 stars?
That was Miami. That was Miami from 95 to 2000.
I agree with that.
I will just line them up every time because you can't coach up speed. What are you gonna develop his speed?
So that thing, baby, go get it.
Like, hey, I told you to tackle him. Why didn't you tackle him?
Bro, you're listen.
I don't know.
All I'm saying, and I'm gonna say it again, if you can't let other people evaluate guys for you, right?
Hey, I like what Rivals doing, man.
You can't.
They make the championship every year.
You can't.
But this is a strange point for you to have, MB, when that is your strength. If anybody could really not come from nothing because you're still the you, but I'm just talking about from a current level of success, okay? You know, what would you say you're equal to at the moment? Louisville, for example, right? I mean, on purely a success level, you're neither higher nor lower than they are. You could easily win that recruiting battle and get that 5-star if it was just Miami and Louisville in contention. So of all programs,
if administration had a clue, Jason, and would get MB or one of them type caliber guys at the helm, yes.
If you
but
gave
it's
that,
not going to happen until that happens.
If you gave that existing coaching staff all 5 stars,
that's staff 2 stars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You got to match it on the other end. You got to have someone who knows what they're doing.
Well, that's what they're doing. They matching talent for talent.
Hey, you watch. Miami will turn this around and they'll get 5 stars. MB will be on the cover of Rivals.com. Come to University of Miami.
Hey, Jason, like this, I told
you. Hey, listen.
You have a Rivals golf shirt on.
5 or 4 stars. Hey, but here's the point y'all keep missing. They got some 5 or 4 stars, but are they being developed? That's the thing you got to look at.
He's going to be doing an interview on the sidelines. I've always been a big believer in Rivals.com for the longest time, and I've always thought that they were a valid resource.
Hey, listen. Hey, let me say this, right? So listen. So here's the premise that you guys keep making. Y'all keep going to one stream to the next. I keep saying the same thing, right?
That's
we
generally
have
what we
mentioned-
do, though, MB.
Huh?
Me and Jason, that's generally what we do. It's always
But hold on. But you know what I'm saying, y'all. Here's the point. What I'm trying to bring up, right? You asked me about Teddy Bridgewater, right? Well, it was as far as we didn't heavily recruit him. We should have, right? Right down, right in the backyard, right? But we facing a 5-star quarterback, right, out of New Jersey, who's supposed to be all that, right? Wasn't that, couldn't play dead in the cowboy movie, right? And bypass the dude right down the street who can play. Because
Right.
they send rivals.
And
So that's
remember
all I'm
those,
saying.
MB.
But y'all keep missing this point.
It wasn't just him. He had like a couple receivers and a running back following him
Yeah,
in Louisville, correct? I think.
But
Isn't that true? Double A.
Yeah,
Teddy
Louisville
Bridgewater?
they had Clint Hurt. They took the Miami D coordinator and recruiting coordinator. They hired him away. So that was the pipeline to Louisville in those years.
But remember though, too, didn't they get like 2 or 3 of his teammates to come
Yeah,
with him?
they took some young guys out of Dade County. Yeah,
Right.
No doubt. No doubt.
but to your point,
No doubt. That's what I'm saying.
what did you say was the second part of that? Remember, find out if he can play, and if he can't, get him out of there. It helps to have a line of 5 stars behind him.
Yeah.
So when you miss on a guy, you reload.
Yeah.
Bro.
Miami never had a state school budget, never had a Florida budget, never had an Alabama or Notre Dame or Penn State budget. They were always a small little private school who did it not the way everyone else was doing it. That's what it was. Them versus the world. That was the mentality.
That's confusing.
When in 1945?
What's that?
Small budget.
1980s.
What'd you say, Double A?
And
So it was always Miami versus the world. We had a small private school, didn't have the big booster money like Bama or the Gators or Notre Dame or Penn State. They weren't handing out money on the side like that in those days. Not until they started winning. Not until they started winning.
It was different kind of boosters.
Yeah, but you're talking about them like they're the school Mary Poppins taught at. Small little private school. University of Miami. What? They were not.
State private school, not a state school.
Don't stop. Get it.
Yeah, don't mention that.
That was not humble beginnings.
But that didn't start in 83, MB.
Nah, that didn't start in 83.
That didn't happen under Howard.
I'm not seeing Michael Irvin schlepping it to school with his bag of books, just uphill both ways in the snow. I don't know.
Hey, and even Michael Irvin would tell you that wasn't him.
Michael Irvin won the original. It was Eddie Brown.
Greg Olson, working a second job at Domino's to get through, nose to the grind.
It was his brother.
What do you say, Jason?
It was Olsen's brother that was the 5-star quarterback.
Tonight. He's on fire.
They pick it on these Canes, man.
Hey, Jason.
But it's because you've been to the top. So it's weird to hear you talk about we gotta,
we've been up and down. We've been in lulls from after 92. After 92 to 2000, we were in lulls. We're 500 team barely beating Virginia Tech in those years.
Yeah, but you've never been I can't think of a time since I've been alive, born in 85, so I'll admit it. But, starter jackets, when they became a thing, it was the Charlotte Hornets or the Miami Hurricanes. Mm-hmm. So, I can't think of any time that Miami was starting from the beginning, and all you guys
were Michigan before the Fab Five. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a culture.
Yeah, so
they were close to shutting the program down. 77.
Make sure you do your research. Now we talked about it, right? Out of those years, our success years, I want you to tell us how many top 10 recruiting class we had.
That's because rivals was just getting their feet wet in the game.
We didn't have the internet.
No, they
that
still,
was when it was a magazine.
They still have 5 and 4 stars.
976 recruit.
Hey, who was that? Athlons.
Yeah.
And then that one dude name. What was the dude name that used to? The guy out of Dade County, Bloomstein or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, the industry that you're describing, MB, didn't exist back then. I mean, really, I mean, there wasn't this hyper-focused up-to-date, real-time data on every play. Players didn't have highlight reels. If they did, it was on their neighbor's camcorder or something.
Man, I put my highlight reel together, man. My tape up.
We just spent a whole show talking about how Miami could not suck moving forward.
Like
it's therapeutic for us. It was a hard night last night.
Hey, Jason, you go to rivals.com right now. It's a real website with like who's playing tonight nationally with kids.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's real now. Like they gonna have, you probably can stream 30 games, high school games on Rival tonight. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even know that.
Hey,
no, you can't. I'm
hey, K-Lou.
I wouldn't have been surprised. Hey, they're the humble beginnings. They were the little rip-off and mail-order insert in a magazine.
Right.
And now, MB's about to be their spokesperson.
Hey, we couldn't have made.
Hey, let me. Hey, right here.
Hey, without Rivals.
Hey, look here. Here's this. Here's Miami all-time football recruits, right? All-time football. Here's a list of them. DJ Williams, national #1 player, one position,
out of LaSalle.
LaSalle. Centrell Henderson. Yep. Centrell Henderson, nation #2 player, #1 player at his position. He's ranked the #2 player in the nation. Centrell, y'all heard of Centrell Henderson?
No.
Huh?
No.
Okay.
I didn't.
But y'all say this #2 player in the nation. #3 player in the nation, Willie Williams, linebacker.
Ooh.
#3 player in the nation, Ryan Moore. Right?
What do you read? Like, what's the point of this?
These are what they were ranked when we recruited them back in the day.
The five-star players. A 5-star player. This is a list of all
that
the
went
5-star
where?
players. The top
where they
players
went?
had in their history. Kyle Wright. All right, #1 quarterback, #3 in the position. Arthur Brown, #1 linebacker in the nation. 8th. Reggie Youngblood, #8 in the nation. Kenneth Phillips, now he was good.
Kenny Phillips played ball.
In the nation. Leon Williams, #11th in the nation, 5-star. This is a list of all Miami 5-star. Willis McGahee, no doubt, 5-star player. Greg Olson, 5-star player. Marcus Forson, 5-star players.
Okay.
Leonard
Every
Taylor.
name you said that we knew,
Hall of Fame during there.
Hold on, who? I'm just going through right now. DJ
Greg
Williams.
Olson and Willie McGinnis.
Who?
McGahee.
McGahee, yeah.
Yeah.
McGahee. But I'm just saying, I'm giving you a list of the top 5 players right here. Right here. Central Henderson. DJ Williams.
Hey, go to 4-star because y'all obviously got 5-star wrong a lot of times.
No, DJ Williams, he was a good player.
Hey, they need the premium subscription to Rivals, not the free one.
Hey, listen, DJ was,
y'all finally getting the real Jason.
Bro,
DJ Williams was recruited for offense. He wound up playing linebacker.
He's been holding back all this time.
Because Duke
Bro,
developed.
listen, I'm giving you our 5-star players. And I'm giving you a list of them right now. And I'm giving you a list of these guys. And you get on a handful. You got what?
3 out of 10.
All these guys you may not even know.
Hold on. MB, what you're describing is Scrooge McDuck in line at the soup kitchen. Forget it. Go to where you belong at the Ritz-Carlton, get the 5-star players, and get back on national TV. Stop it.
Bro,
you don't need to be humble. What are you being
I just
humble
gave
for?
you a list of 5-star players, and you only know 2 out of maybe 12 I told you.
We know the ones playing now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go get them. Go get them.
Y'all sound right now.
We need the 5-star coaches.
Right now. You ain't see them out there making plays.
It ain't the players, man.
Hey, that 5-star running back Clemson got.
So Jason, let's at least
that 5-star running player. Hold on, K-Lou, what's your evaluation of the running back Clemson got right now? He's 5-star player.
I don't like him, but I told Jason that
Ship of
last
fools.
week. You know, I told Jason, I told you that last week. I ain't like
five-star
you know.
player,
I'm gonna
though.
tell you the truth.
I think there's a different reason that Kevin doesn't like him. I don't think we have to say it here on air.
Come on, don't pull that card. Don't pull that card.
I'm just.
No,
it's not his
pull that
particular
card.
flavor. We'll just leave it. But they said the same thing about Christian McCaffrey. Can't run between the tackles.
I love Christian McCaffrey.
Can Will Shipley have 10 minutes?
And that is not the same dude. You crazy. Y'all drinking. Y'all think that's the same.
You can't make chicken salad out of
kid.
chicken shit.
Okay, I'll tell you this much. You're not utilizing him like that to feature him. So I don't know that right now. Right now he's running zone read like everybody else. And it looked the same as anybody else. It don't look no different. That's not what we watch McCaffrey do.
You put that kid Knighton playing for Miami on that Clemson team.
He's a baller, but
Dak's got
Miami
first.
had three. Yeah. All three of Miami running backs are better than him. Yeah. Just so I'm letting you know, like
better how? Better when we line Will Shipley up at receiver. Show me a running back in the country that can do better.
If the one if Knighton goes in the slot, Knighton can do anything out of the three backs. Yeah. They actually should utilize him more in other spots. But them other two are grinders. They'll get it. And all three of them better than Shipley. So I don't care what you talk about.
We'll revisit this conversation.
One of them need to transfer and Shipley will be on the bench.
Hey, we just lost our running back, our down back, our workhorse, Lynn J. Dixon. He's transferring. So,
okay.
That's
what
we put our coaches in the transfer.
Hey, Jason, tell me about what other 5 stars you got on that offense.
Do what now?
What other 5 stars Clemson got on that offense?
Everyone. Receivers, quarterback.
Yeah, who? Give me some names.
Justin Ross. I believe not as a 5, or was he a 4? 10.
I don't know.
Then we got, obviously DJ, who's not quite living up to. Then the kid behind him's a 4-star, but I think he was 5-star on somebody else, and then 4-star with Rivals, premium subscription.
Right.
We got even the offensive lineman that's not really performing, but one of them I know we lost to injury. You don't want to talk about the defensive line; they could start anywhere. I don't know everybody that could beat everyone else. Right now we're struggling through a quarterback that's gun shy. That's it. Would we beat Miami if we ran the Wildcat every game?
Yes.
Bro,
you'll be there. I can't wait.
I'm just saying it's all about those guys developing, man. It's talent. Yeah. You got to develop.
I thought it was all about the U, not the development.
It is. And the U, and that's what you did a great job of developing the talent, getting some ballers and development, man. The Reggie Wayne's.
MB is going to be on billboards on the I-95.
Oh, yeah. Reggie Wayne went out there on a try, right?
Child, please.
That's how Jason. None of them could. It was either Miami or Duke.
No, hey Lou, use point saving, man.
That's what it was.
Their ACTs weren't high enough for Duke, buddy. You know
Miami
that.
Or Duke.
I want
K-Lou,
to play this.
K-Lou. All I say, like I told you, man, we did a great job identifying the talent. We didn't let other people tell us who could play or not.
You know who else does a great job identifying?
And those guys came to be ballers, straight up.
Nick Saban.
You know,
Rivals.
We did a great job, bro.
So look what happened last night. Look what happened last night in the NFL Thursday night football game. This Jacksonville team's up 14-0. Their genius head coach. Everybody in the NFL's got talent, right? What's the difference? Is coaching, right?
Absolutely.
Their genius head coach goes for a touchdown instead of kicking a field goal and putting himself up 3 scores.
Yep, and lost by field goal.
I'm telling you, that Miami talent ain't the problem on the field. Do they have Alabama talent? No, but they have talent that's better than 95% of the rest of the country. No doubt about it. What?
95?
Yeah.
Bobby Brown, the king of R&B.
Been hanging out with Whitney too much.
80%. 80%.
Hey, K-Lou, but y'all just talking. But listen, I got the
MB,
facts.
you agree with that statement? You
Oh,
agree
no,
with
no.
Miami
I mean,
talent is better than 95% of the other
I
colleges?
don't know about that. Yeah.
Okay, that's what my response was to.
Top 5% is your 25
Hey,
teams.
Hey, but listen, hey Lou, but I agree with the Miami issue is not a lack of talent, right? It's not that, it's not. They just got to
I ain't
develop.
saying it was, but I'm definitely not agreeing with that statement.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I
it is.
agree with that. Yeah, I understand.
I'm saying it is.
Hey, well, we appreciate y'all, Jason. I'm glad you finally came out your shell. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, Jay, he got a little drinking buddy now, but hey, but it don't change the facts. The proof, the proof is still in the pudding, K-Lou. We won national championships and didn't have maybe one or two top recruits.
Oh, there they go again.
Hey, play this.
You can't. Hey, I gave you.
Everybody was trash, Jason. They was winning with garbage pail
At MB's
them?
introduction press
I'm not saying
conference
that.
when he takes over at the University of Miami, play this back. When he's on billboards on I-95 with Rivals.com along the bottom of the billboard, play this back. Yeah. When he's making celebrity appearances at used car dealerships with that flapping air thing behind him and he's signing a recruit, play this back. Yeah.
There were 20,000 fans in that stadium last night.
Ooh.
Hey, that's
what's
not
capacity?
a new norm, but that's been going on. Don't act like
75, 80.
That's
we even in the heyday we went.
Yeah.
But I mean that's Thursday night football.
It's too much to do, man.
The turnover chain brought attendance up. I mean that really.
That's 5 years ago, like man. That's old.
The only problem is they took the teams they was playing started taking the turnover chain.
You need to turn over the coach.
Who do?
Hey, listen, you don't have to crack on my people. I do better than that. Y'all cry about it. Y'all cry about the truth. I really
should. You can't handle the
truth will set you free.
Yeah, but you got doctors making tackles at Duke.
We play y'all this year, MB. That's a win.
I can't wait to see it, baby.
Man.
Oh, trailed off. You got to do your little sign-off thing now.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all for coming through, pulling up, hollering at us because you know us with Jason, Run CMC, baby, Double A, and from MB and K. Lou, we are gone.
Peace.
Adios. That hurt.
What's that?
That hurt.
Oh, they looking for something.
They can pile on, but you start developing those kids.
It's all good.
Yeah. Adios.
Exactly. They no. Have a good one. Appreciate Taylor White for saying things.